Hey guys, I'm Sarika and welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. So, do you guys know that you can self-sponsor yourself in the UK? Well, I don't know. And if you want to know how, I have invited Yash from AYNJ Solicitor, where he's going to talk about what is self-sponsorship and how you can sponsor yourself. So, if you want to know more in detail, make sure you keep watching the video till the end. And let me now introduce you to Yash. Hi Yash, welcome to my channel once again. And if you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you for inviting. My name is Yash Dubal. I'm the Senior Immigration Associate and Managing Director at AYNJ Solicitors. AYNJ Solicitors is a multi-award-winning Legal 500 specialized solicitors firms in Central London. We have served 4,000 plus clients and 1,000 plus reviews on Trustpilot and Google. And yeah, we are in this business for 14 plus years now.
Oh, thank you very much. So Yash, today I have got a very hot topic for you. You had been talking lately a lot about self-sponsorship in the UK. So from my knowledge, I know there's nothing called as self-sponsorship in the UK. So can you give us more insights, or can you educate me and my audience as well? What does self-sponsorship mean according to you, and who can apply, and all the eligibility criteria that you can think of, which will benefit me and my audience as well?
Sure. You are absolutely right. There is no immigration category named as self-sponsorship. We came up with this term. It's actually a combination of two immigration process. One is self-sponsor license and another is a skilled worker visa. Combining that, we created a term called self-sponsorship. It's created by ourselves. And why do we call it self-sponsorship? Because we help our potential client to establish a company in the UK. That's step number one of the entire process. Step number two is we help them, their company, to get sponsor license, which you can find it on government website. What is sponsor license? So any company they want to sponsor overseas skilled staff, they need to get a specific license from the UK government. It's called sponsor license. So step one is to establish company for a potential client, their own business. We help them with that, and then we help the client's company to get sponsor license. Once that company has sponsor license, then they will sponsor themselves through their own company. Because they are sponsoring themselves through their own company, we just name this category as a self-sponsorship route. But if you search on government website, you won't find it, which I admit. We are not here to mislead anyone, and I've answered this question on my YouTube channel as well and in various articles. There's no self-sponsorship route, but it's a combination of getting a sponsor license for your own business and then sponsor yourself. So it's self-sponsored. I think this is the simplest form I can explain. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clearing that, Yash, and definitely clever, I will say, because that's a new terminology for the UK. I will say self-sponsorship. So the first
absolutely.
So the first question which comes to my mind is, say someone from India, because majority of people who watch my videos are from India. If somebody wants to move to the UK through your self-sponsorship, how can they do it? How they go about creating a company and then sponsoring themselves?
Sure. So before we get into it, I think very simply, if someone wants to run their own business in the UK, this is the best category. There is no investor visa category, which was £2 million route, has been removed by the government. There is no tier one entrepreneur route, which was £200,000 investment route, is not there anymore. There is innovator visa category and startup. Startup doesn't lead into permanent residency. Innovator visa does lead into permanent residency, but there are a lot of strict criteria even to qualify for innovator visa, and then get the settlement is also equally complex. So self-sponsorship, if you want to run any genuine business, and if you have appropriate investment, and which we'll discuss in a minute what is that number, but if you want to run any genuine business in the UK, you can discuss that with our firm, and not necessarily with our firm. If you find any other immigration lawyer or an expert who can do it, just go with them. There should be, of course, experience, credible, and of course confident to deliver the solution, because it's very niche, very specialized immigration solution. So this is how it works. Let's say someone from India, they have appropriate investment to make in a business idea, which is their own business idea. It's like, I want to run this business. Take an example. They want to run a restaurant in the UK and they have around 200,000-300,000 pounds, which is 2-3 crore rupees in India. So, okay, look, we have this sort of money. Establish the company first in the UK, which we can assist or someone else can assist who can do it. After that, get the sponsor license for that company. Establish the company for a restaurant, get the sponsor license, then sponsor yourself to run that business. Simple as that. 3-stage step process. This is how it works. Now, I think common question which your audience might have, what is that investment? How much money do we need to invest?
Yeah.
The answer is there is no minimum or maximum investment required to qualify for this route. So let's talk about number. What is that number? I can't tell you that number. Why? Because it's your own business. You as a business person decides how much money you think is appropriate to start and run your business. It can be 20,000 pounds and it can be 2 million pounds. How? If you are running a service-based business, let's say IT company, it's a very early stage startup, service-based IT service provider company. You don't need that much money because you can work from home. It's just a website. It's your skill, which you will be, or experience you will be selling, a specialized services. You don't need huge investment. So you can start even with 20,000-30,000 pounds. But let's say you want to buy a hotel, then you might need even 2-3 million pounds. So it depends on your business idea. But bear in mind, the business idea has to be genuine. And the company you are establishing, by the time you apply for license, it has to be active trading, genuine company. So these are the basic, in nutshell, requirement. I think the frequently asked question I've just covered in this answer for you.
Okay, so how long that company needs to be trading before anybody can self-sponsor?
It's again, we establish a company and we can apply for sponsor license very next month as soon as we get the relevant registration with the HMRC. So we help our clients with the help of our strategic partners. We have accountants as a strategic partners. We instruct them. They establish a company, register them for a VAT, PAY, some HMRC, which is again a government registration. We help the client to get it done through our strategic partner. As soon as we get that, we then apply for sponsor license. Once we get the sponsor license, we then help them to apply for skilled worker visa.
Okay. And so if somebody wants to open a company, what are the eligibility criteria? Like you said, it can be any business idea. What kind of checks do government do, or what is the definition provided by the UK government?
As I said earlier, any business can apply for sponsor license. Literally any business can apply for sponsor license. So there is no requirement as such that they have to have this criteria or that criteria. No minimum investment required, no minimum turnover required, no minimum number of employees required.
Okay.
So, but the only requirement is the business idea has to be genuine and it should be active trading company by the time we submit sponsor license application.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yash. I have another question while you're explaining like anyone can sponsor once you have your company running. Yeah. So as you know, in the UK, and most of us struggle to bring up parents. Tourist visa allows someone to come here for some time, for 6 months, you stay and you need to go back, right? The other countries like say Canada, now they have a different category for parents, New Zealand and even Australia, but UK doesn't have. So do you think even parents can take this route of self-sponsorship if they already have a company running? And then I don't know if there's an age criteria, say someone who is the age of 70, do you think it can be doable?
Good question, and I can answer that. First thing first, there is no age criteria whatsoever for skilled worker visa, which they get ultimately after they get the visa for 5 years or 3 or 5 years. There is no age criteria. That's number one. Number two, they have to meet the English language requirement to submit the skilled worker visa application, which is B1, which is like if you talk about IELTS, everybody knows IELTS. It has to be minimum 4 band in each section. Now, if you meet this, now going back to your question, can they use this route? The answer is yes, but there is a caveat. The caveat is that the position they are being sponsored for should be a genuine position. It cannot be a position to facilitate the immigration. the person who is coming over should be sponsored for a skilled role, which is a genuine job role in the business, number one. And number two is the person who is taking that job role. It can be anybody. It can be parents, it can be brother, mother, doesn't matter. It's fine. But that person has to have relevant experience or skill or qualification.
Mm-hmm.
So if they have a right skill, qualification, or experience for the role, and if the role is genuine role, then I don't see any reason as to why they cannot be sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But there has to be a genuine approach to the entire process. It is possible, but we have to act with integrity and transparency here. Right? When we take the project from the clients, we let the home office know upfront what is our intention is from day one. We're not hiding anything. We are 100% honest and transparent from day one, what we are doing in this entire process and what we intend to do moving forward. And this is how the UK government is like the honesty and transparency. And this is what I would suggest to anyone who is watching this video, to use honesty and transparency all the time.
Okay. Thank you very much, Yash. I think this was very useful because I got my parents back in India, my father-in-law, and we are already thinking of how to bring them permanently here, because bringing parents is, other than tourist visa, we did not find any positive or the right way to move forward. So maybe if we have a business idea, we may try and also reach out to you for some help. And anyone, thank you, Yash. And anyone who's watching this video, if you guys got any questions, you can let me know in the comment section below. And if you want me to bring Yash on a YouTube live session as well, if you got more burning questions like I had, let me know in the comment section so that we can do another YouTube live session where we can get your questions answered. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for watching the video. And thank you, Yash.
Thank you. Cheers.